Deep Explanation 20-minute study. Black goo is a metaphor used to describe a state of internal containment. It is not a physical substance. It is not mystical in the supernatural sense. It is a way to represent a regulated field of attention. To understand black goo clearly, we first need to understand the normal condition most people live in. Most human nervous systems operate in a state of constant permeability. Permeability means everything gets in. A sound occurs and the mind reacts. Someone says something unpleasant and the body tightens. A memory appears and emotion floods the system. In this open state, attention moves constantly outward toward stimulation. Thought follows thought. Reaction follows reaction. The system rarely returns to stillness. Because of this, people become exhausted even when they are not physically working. The energy drain comes from unregulated attention. Attention is one of the most powerful forces in the human system. Where attention goes, energy follows. If attention is scattered, energy becomes scattered. If attention is stable, energy becomes stable. Black goo is a mental representation of stable attention. Imagine awareness surrounded by a calm, dense field. This field is not rigid. It is not defensive. It is simply thick and steady. Like deep water, when something touches the surface of deep water, the movement slows, waves soften, motion dissipates. Black goo functions the same way. It introduces viscosity into the field of awareness. Viscosity means resistance to rapid motion. In daily life, most reactions happen too quickly. A stimulus appears. The brain immediately generates interpretation. Emotion follows, then behavior. The entire process can happen in a fraction of a second. Black goo interrupts this chain. When a stimulus appears, the field slows the reaction. Instead of immediate response, there is a small pause. This pause is extremely important. Inside that pause, conscious choice becomes possible. Without the pause, reactions run automatically. With the pause, awareness can observe before acting. This is the first principle of black goo. Reaction speed decreases. Slower reactions create stability. Stability creates clarity. Clarity creates better decisions. The second principle of black goo is containment. Most people leak attention continuously. They replay conversations. They imagine arguments. They worry about future outcomes. They analyze situations that are already finished. Each of these activities pulls attention away from the present moment. When attention leaves the system repeatedly, energy drains. This is why mental rumination is exhausting. Black goo acts like a seal. Instead of attention flowing outward toward every thought, the field gently holds attention in place. Thoughts may still appear, but they do not pull the entire system with them. They pass through the field more slowly. They dissolve more easily. The system remains centered. The third principle of black goo is neutralization. Human beings constantly encounter emotional signals from the environment, other people's frustration, stress from work, tension from family interactions, residual emotional energy from earlier events. Normally, these signals enter the nervous system and stay there. They continue circulating as thoughts and bodily tension. Black goo dissolves these signals. Instead of amplifying them, the field absorbs and neutralizes them. The process is similar to placing dye into a large container of water. At first, the color appears strong, but as it spreads, the color becomes faint. Eventually, the water returns to clarity. Black goo represents that dissolving capacity. Nothing is fought. Nothing is suppressed. Energy simply spreads into the field until it loses intensity. This returns the system to neutrality. Neutrality is not numbness. Neutrality is balance. It is the state where the nervous system is calm but alert. From neutrality, thinking becomes clearer. Creativity increases. Decisions become easier. This is why many high-performing individuals train themselves to remain internally neutral. They are not trying to eliminate emotion. They are trying to prevent emotional storms from taking control of their actions. Black goo helps reinforce this condition. It reminds the mind that awareness can remain stable even when circumstances change. Another way to understand black goo is through the concept of boundaries. Healthy systems have boundaries. A cell in the human body has a membrane. That membrane determines what enters and what exits. Without that membrane, the cell would collapse. Human awareness works the same way. Without boundaries, every stimulus enters the system. When boundaries exist, attention becomes selective. Black goo represents a selective boundary. It does not block experience. It simply slows and filters it. Only what is useful moves through easily. Everything else dissolves. This is why the metaphor uses the image of a thick field. Thickness implies weight. Weight implies stability. Stability reduces impulsive movement. When attention becomes heavier, it stops jumping from stimulus to stimulus. It becomes grounded. This grounded attention is extremely powerful. It allows a person to remain calm in situations that would normally produce anxiety. It allows them to listen without reacting. It allows them to observe patterns others miss. From the outside, this can appear like unusual composure, but internally, it is simply the result of a regulated system. Many contemplative traditions throughout history describe similar states using different language. Some speak about stillness, others speak about equanimity, others speak about inner silence. Black goo is simply a modern metaphor for the same phenomenon. It translates an internal state into a visual and sensory image. That image helps the mind maintain the condition. The more often a person returns to this state, the easier it becomes to access. Eventually, it becomes the default condition of the nervous system. When that happens, external stress has far less influence. Noise still exists, but it no longer penetrates deeply. Life continues to present challenges, but the internal response remains measured. This is why regulation practices often focus on breathing, attention, and body awareness. These practices stabilize the nervous system. Black goo is another way of describing the same process. A calm, dense field around awareness. A field that slows reactions, contains attention, and dissolves unnecessary stimulation. When this field is present, the mind naturally becomes quieter. The body relaxes. The environment may remain busy, but internally there is stillness. From that stillness, perception improves. Ideas form more easily. Creativity increases because attention is no longer scattered. It is concentrated. In many ways, this is the foundation of mastery in any field. Athletes describe it as being in the zone. Artists describe it as flow. Meditators describe it as still awareness. Different words, same condition. A stable, contained mind. Black goo is simply a training image that helps reinforce that stability. The more familiar the image becomes, the easier it is to return to the state it represents. When the system stabilizes, attention stops leaking. When attention stops leaking, energy accumulates. When energy accumulates, clarity appears. And Clarity allows the system to return naturally back to calm